Yeah. You know what? Thank you, Man Oz, my brother. You already know what it is. I want to say hello to Black Mamba. Welcome back, Black Mamba, Bug Bewley, and Ebony. If you're here, shout out to you as well. So look, guys, we're going to jump right into it tonight. I was thinking about this before I started, as I was prepping for the show. And I was getting everything together, and I got a lot of clips. I got a lot to show you. I got all this great stuff, right? I got a show lined up for you on this. Of course, the topic is Charlie Kirk. And something came over me, though. Something came over me. Now let me slow walk this. You guys okay? Can I slow walk you a little bit? Like I tell you, this ain't a show as much as it is a conversation. And I got to be brutally honest with you, totally honest, transparent, right? Okay. Because this is what I was thinking. After today's live stream, which I thought I did a very good job at, best job I thought I could do. I mean, I found out the guy died live on the air. I didn't know he was going to die. Thought it was possible, but to kind of find out in front of my audience is kind of whack. Anyway, and I hadn't really thought about how I would react when that happened. So that's the first thing, So then after that, I went and said, well, you know what, that my previous live stream was so long, it was like an hour and 20 minutes. I was like, no one's going to sit and watch this hour and 20-minute video. Let me make a condensed version, and I don't feel like editing. Let me just go shoot something else. And Mrs. Black was like, Tim, she came down after I'd already shot an 11-minute version, which was most of the same thoughts, but I guess I was a little bit more aggressive. And as I was getting that ready to upload the shorter version, Mrs. Black was down here, was working on another computer doing her thing. And she said, oh, I saw the show. You did a magnificent job, baby. You had people on both sides feeling really, of course there were trolls, but there were a lot of people that really, who liked him but understood what you were saying, and there were people that didn't like him but understood what you were saying. So you did an excellent job, and it was smart, and it was on point. It was real. And I was like, well, baby, I want to put out a separate video on the topic, but I just shot one. It's 11 minutes long. I don't think anyone's going to sit through that long presentation. She's like, okay, So she didn't see my shorter version. I just put it up. And it must have been stronger because people saw it. And immediately, I got a lot of flack. I got a lot of flack, from the clip. I got a lot of love too. Don't leave the love out. I got a lot of love and I got a lot of flack. So basically, I did my job. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't getting love and you ain't getting flack on something as polarizing as this, if you got the guts to talk about it, if you're not getting love and flack, then you really are punking out, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Because this guy was a lightning rod, right? He was a lightning rod. And how could you speak about a lightning rod without yourself being a lightning rod? It's kind of impossible. So anyway, here's where things got really interesting. So I'm looking back, I'm talking to my brother Oz. I say, Oz, yo. He's like, man, I saw your video on him and everything. I thought it was good, something like that. But, it was like, people should be able to say, have their opinions and not be afraid of violence and, violence because of people's opinions. And, I spoke, I think it's deeper than that with Charlie Kirk. So I got two things I got to say to you guys, man. And the first thing is, when white people say black people should be able to speak their minds without being hurt or without violence. I mean, you're talking to black people. I mean, is that history? I mean, really? Really? Um, I think it goes without saying there's been a group of people in America who not only couldn't speak their own mind, they couldn't have their own mind at all. And that was mandated, you know, for a few hundred years in this country. And then we know things haven't been equal and fair, right? There hasn't been equity at all. There's been no equality, no equity, none of that shit. You know that, right? I mean, I'm the first male in my family, first person in my family who even had the same rights as a white guy. And we've been in this country 8 generations. So that's the first thing, you know, it just seems a little, sometimes we can't relate to one another because we're dealing with different histories and different backgrounds and different things we were raised knowing. But my second thing is this, man, and this is something that anybody should be able to get. I think, well, it's not race. This is something that needs to be said, fam. Charlie Kirk was fake. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, someone hit me up and they said, Tim Black, you know, Charlie Kirk wasn't even that type of guy if you met him. I know he said a lot of volatile shit, but he really wasn't like that. And it sat with me for a minute. You know what I'm saying? It sat with me for a minute because I've lived and worked. I've had other jobs before this. Family, I was in corporate America. Where people acted a certain way and they got off work, they was a totally different person. I've had friends that when they was around, when they had their girl with them, they was one person, like they was in the church and all that stuff. And then that evening, they want to go to the strip club and they be a totally different person. I knew people that was out in the strip selling crack. And then 10 years later, they all cleaned up and they're Muslim. They're a totally different person. So that exists where people are more than just one thing. And I think in Charlie Kirk's, I want to say this, and I'm not making excuses for him. What I'm telling you is, it was bullshit. Charlie wouldn't have died for this. He did die for it, allegedly. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I don't think if given the opportunity, he would have died to be anti-black, DEI, and black women are stupid, and black people you can't trust them to fly planes, and we should have never had the civil rights movement. And I got a whole list of shit to play you later for anybody who's living in fantasy land about the stuff that Charlie Kirk said, who just don't get why Tim Black had any smoke for him and his actions, his mouth, and what he was putting out into the world. Got a lot of clips to play for you to bring you up to speed since you apparently don't have access to the internet. What I'm trying to tell you is most people that you're going to meet in this media shit, they not who they pretend to be. You look and you see the Democrats and the Republicans fight tooth and nail, and then you know what they do? Go to each other's houses on the weekends and hang out on the holidays. Go have drinks after work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk just wanted to win, man. Just like the liberals just want to win, man. Just like the conservatives just want to win, man. Just like Trump just wants to win, man. I do not truly believe Trump is as bad as a guy as people try to make him seem. He just knows what he has to do to win, and he has the ability to put whatever piece of him that's decent in some ways away and be whoever he has to be in the moment to win. And I think that's our culture. whether you want to admit it or not. White people, whether you want to admit it or not, that's your culture. Now, your culture ain't hip hop or the blues or even country music, but it is corporate and it is pretending and it is doing whatever you got to do to win. And that's what Charlie Kirk was doing. And he was doing it well. And yes, I intended for that to sound like that track, you remember. What I'm trying to tell you, man, is I don't think Charlie Kirk was the devil. I think that Charlie Kirk knew how to win and he knew what was working in the culture wars and they saw it as a game. And part of why people are upset that are not goofies, and I mean those are the people that are literally crying with physical tears, they don't understand that this shit is show and tell. Acting, they are playing roles. People are saying they believe shit they don't really believe. People are doing things they don't really aren't really into. Do you really think we sit up here and we pretend like we know? We say Jasmine Crockett is full of shit. She ain't from the hood. Why she sound like Shanae? She's playing a role. She's a smart lady, practicing attorney. She don't have to do all this and all that, and Trump ain't shit, fuck him, and all this. She don't have to talk like that. We know they're doing this. Well, if you're trying to get conservatives, you're trying to get the country, you know what works? Here's the deal in this game. People got to say, do I want to be right or do I want to win? I'm from D.C., man. I've worked in D.C. my entire life. Around the movers and shakers of the nation's capital. I've been around top-level executives. I've worked in powerful Fortune 100 companies. And I met enough people to tell you a lot of this is bull. That doesn't change the damn thing that came out of Charlie Kirk that he did, that his organization did. But don't get me wrong, I believe he was conservative and I believe he believed in certain things. He also saw a business opportunity. He saw a way to become bigger and better and do these things. And I think he believed in certain things, but I also think we'll never really know. Because politics, like corporate America, is so full of shit. Look at Bernie Sanders. Look at him. What does he do? We all know the game he plays. Every election, when things don't go right for the Democrats, he emerges as this counter to the party that he gives his blood to, the ones that he rocks with and supports and campaigns for. All of a sudden, when they lose, he becomes the anti-Democrat guy and goes on tours and shitting on them. He took all that money from working class people just to go campaign for Hillary. Then he took all that money from working class people just to go campaign for Kamala. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he's one of the good ones, one of the better ones, or the worst ones, depending on how you look at it. People used to call out to Republicans. I see the conservatives going buck wild, calling them rhinos. Republicans in name only. What does that mean? Half of the shit they say they stood for, they didn't stand for it. They just said, this is how we win. Do you really believe Democrats truly believe that trans men or men that would want to transfer into women should be able to play basketball and sports with women, biological women? Hell no. But they signed up for a team and they want to win. They want to win. So if we're going to be smart enough to see through the BS, we can't pretend not to see through the BS on the other side. If it's fake, then it's fake all the time. It's not just fake at certain times. When you're watching a movie, and the actors are really great, you almost forget that you're watching a movie. But you are watching a movie. And if there's somebody who's in the movie, for instance, I saw Spike Lee's movie. Let's not deal in hypotheticals. Let me give you a real one. I saw Highest to Lowest on Apple TV. And I'm watching two of the greatest actors that ever did it, Jeffrey Wright and Denzel Washington. And I saw Wendell Pierce. I'm sitting there watching him. Mrs. Black walks in, and Jeffrey Wright's on the screen, and I said, that's that guy, man. Damn it, he's doing a great job. And I'm mad because I've had run-ins with Jeffrey Wright online because he's such a damn Democrat. It bothers me because he's such a damn good actor. I feel bad that I hate his politics. You know what I'm saying? And I sometimes can't separate the two. Then there's a scene with Wendell Pierce in it. I said, damn it, there goes Wendell Pierce, same thing. He's a phenomenal actor too. And I got into it with him online too. Damn. I don't get along with nobody. Then I said to Mrs. Black, I said, you know what? They probably don't remember getting into it with me. They probably don't care. They don't remember me. I'm nobody. But you know, they probably had the politics they needed to have to be in Hollywood. And if you ever sit them down with a drink and talk with them about some stuff, we probably agree on more than we disagree. And somewhere in the course of the drinks, after the third or fourth scotch, one day would probably tell me, man, you know, it's the price I had to pay, the politics I had to have to stay in Hollywood. Why you think you saw me in all those movies? Because I played a game. And that's what I'm telling you that Charlie Kirk is doing. So when I'm watching the movie, it's great as Wendell Pierce and Jeffrey Wright and Denzel are on their roles. There's always an A$AP Rocky. Yeah, A$AP Rocky was a rapper pretending to be a rapper, and it showed. You know what I'm saying? A$AP Rocky played such a bad job, did such a bad job playing a rapper, I don't even believe he's a real rapper now. How you not gonna be good at being you? My point is this, fam. The movie was still a movie. It was a movie. Even when I was watching the great actors act, it was a movie. And when I watched the not so great actor act, it was still a movie. So when you're watching a Charlie Kirk and he's being a great actor, or whatever he's doing, it's a movie. And we're watching Jasmine Crockett. And you see through it and you know, she went to private schools for $30,000 a year and she talked like she went to Prince George's County public school system and dropped out in the 10th grade and didn't get the GED. Well, you know you're watching a bad actor. But no matter how good they act or don't act, it's still a movie. So my point is, I don't know, man. It just struck me that there are these people that believe these people. They believe these people are being who they are genuinely. Black Americans, like when I watch, there are people I see doing this. Afro Elite, for instance. Afro Elite. There's a couple people I've met online that I believe they are who they are. I haven't met them really, but I met them online. Afro Elite is one of them. There's a guy with the black, used to be the Fred Hampton guys, the guy, Rome. I believe Rome is who Rome says Rome is. You know who I'm talking about. And everybody over there, Rome is the guy that I think is who he says he is. And I think Afro Elite is who he says he is. And I am who I say I am. You know why? Because I die for this. And about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, I thought I was dying. And I was doing this like I wasn't. So, I don't think that Charlie Kirk had that type of commitment to what he was doing. He was just damn successful. He had the complexion for the protection from the collection. And he had a thriving organization. And why stop now? Take it to the House. You're making history. Donald Trump gave a 4-minute video to the guy. The New York Yankees put him up on the damn Tron. There have been people who have played roles and done things for far less. There's some mofos on TikTok that ain't making nothing but $200 a month, acting a whole, complete, and total ass. It's some guys, some black men on TikTok or Twitter, on X right now, kissing all the ass of the conservatives. And they ain't making anything. In hopes they'll be able to make some money at some point, somehow, some way. Charlie Kirk made a co-founder of a multi-million-dollar organization with the power to sit with presidents and congressmen and all types of officials and be a rainmaker and live the life, and he's only 31, and it's all he's done since high school. But see, here's the kicker to all of this. The people that watch this shit, the people at home don't know it's bullshit. They think Trump really thinks these things. They think Jasmine Crockett, or they think Bernie's real. They think Ted Cruz is who Ted Cruz pretends to be. They think Cory Booker's who he says he is. They think these things, and then they feel betrayed and angry and upset and pissed off. And then when they say vile things, they believe that too. When they say horrible things, there are people that believe that too. And when they insult people, when they scare people, they believe that too. It's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game, Johnson. I could be wrong about Charlie Kirk. He could be as horrible as he was pretending to be, or as he was projecting to be. And maybe he really believed everything he said. I just find it hard to believe that he said that black women are so stupid. But then he had Candace Owens, and she basically was carrying the organization on her back. And I differ with her on politics, but no dummy could do that. You know? So did he really believe that, or did he just say that because that's what his base wants to hear, and he knew that? And I make this decision, and everybody that makes content that wants to be successful and live indoors has to make this decision if you're in this line of business. But I figure you got to do the same thing in music. I mean, you ain't going to exactly be able to hang out and meet the people you want to meet in the music industry if you're shitting all over the most popular musicians. If you think the music's garbage and you say it out loud, too loud, well, there goes all your opportunities. And the same thing in Hollywood and the yada, the yada, the yada, the yada, the yada. I feel like it's the same way everywhere. Last thing, and I'm all over the place, but I hope that people can keep up. I was watching 5150. Shout out to Corey Holcomb in the 5150 show. Darlene and Craig Fax as well. Corey Holcomb was talking about the comedian that was working with Cat Williams that ended up deceased. And he didn't trash the guy at all. He was on point. He was a stand-up brother. He was respecting the code, but he said something and it stuck with me. He said, man, what I'm going to say about my man, he was a wild boy. Y'all don't know him. Y'all don't understand. These comedians ain't who you think they are. Yeah, people think comedians are just walking around funny all the time. A lot of these comedians from the hood. They got guns. They'll shoot your ass. And they got hitters with them, and they know people. They go all across the country. You think someone's who they are on stage. Honest Jay would probably beat the brakes off me. I mean, he'd have to be really good at his shit, but I'm just saying. Think Bill Bellamy can't scrap. Think Cat Williams is an easy win. He'll probably cut you like a cantaloupe. My point is, we don't know that. We watch him and we go, oh, funny. We don't know Dave could be a serial killer. Dave Chappelle, you don't know. Kevin Hart is like a funny guy with a great personality. Till you get him wrong. Probably hire 3 hitmen to make you disappear from the face of the earth if he got pissed off enough. You don't know these people, but we think we do. And when they do bad things and when they are leaning into their things. So I hope that makes some sense to you. I hope that you understand. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but I hope that it's a different wavelength because, yeah, I think a lot of us believe these things. There are people that will say negative things about black people, whether they believe it or not, because they know that's what the country wants them to say. There are people that say they got a problem with certain things. They probably don't. Or maybe they do. They say everything's fine, and they probably are disgusted by certain things, but they'll never tell us because that's not a part of the agreement they have with their boss or with the industry in order for them to continue working. And I'm just saying, I come from the place, DC, where the common refrain is, fake it till you make it. When in Rome, be like the Romans. In my favorite, play the game. It's a hell of a price to pay to play in the game and you end up not here. But that's the price of playing the game, is it not? Sometimes people believe that you are who you say you are, and you think what you say you think. And even if you don't believe it, and even if it's not who you are, if you put it out there enough, you will influence people, and you may create some things. So I'm not exonerating him. I am not exonerating Charlie Kirk or anybody else from the responsibility of what comes out of their mouth. Believe it or not, I got to quote Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God was told, he had talked shit on his show about a rapper. I forget which rapper it was. I mean, I don't really forget, but I do forget. It was somebody in the industry who was big. And he bumped into these guys. And somebody might know this story. He said he bumped into these guys, big guys. And they were like bodyguards from this guy he talked to back in the day. And they said, damn, man, what's up, Charlemagne? And they had a conversation. And one of the guys came clean with him. He said, Charlemagne, man, good thing we didn't run into you a couple years ago. There was a green light on your ass. And Charlemagne was like, for real, yo, for real? I was like, yeah, it was a green light on your ass. We was told if we ever catch you, do what we got to do, and they'll take care of all legal penalties. And Charlemagne, this is the part that's interesting. Charlemagne said, I believed him too. And you know what? If they would have did that, I respect it. Because I got to be accountable for everything that comes out of my mouth. It's a price to pay for everything I say, and I'm old enough to understand that. And my opinion about Charlemagne kind of changed when he said that because I need to accept that my damn self when I'm talking about people. When I'm roasting Tim Scott or Jim Clyburn or Kamala Harris, then I wonder why doors are shut in my face. Well, damn it, dog. Even people that was cool with me walked away. Thought I was right, but that don't matter. It doesn't matter if you're right. It matters how the people feel about you. So I'm going to play some clips about Charlie Kirk, and it's not because I hate him, because I don't. Ira Me Olsen Frimpong. He said, Charlie Kirk is not the worst. He's just a basic right winger. It's really not dangerous. Not really. Just said things that people didn't like. So what? It's not a reason to take him off the board. I agree with that. I hope I didn't give anybody the impression it's okay to take people off the board just because you disagree with them. I just wanted to make it clear that when you say certain things, hey, it's more than just saying Clyburn needs to retire. He was saying Black America needs XYZ. We'll get to it. I feel like that's more than just a statement. I also believe, for the most part, us Black Americans are from a very specific group. And history has shown a lot of us, or some of us, or a few of us, are willing to die on the hill. MLK and Malcolm X knew they were going to die on that hill. It wasn't like they were surprised. I don't think they were. I don't think everybody shares the same commitment, so to speak. And that's what I'm kind of getting at. So this is what I got on Charlie Kirk right now, guys, and I thought I'd share it with you. This may be our suspect.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I think they just found the guy right outside of Carry On. Rifle on this dude's dash, and they just handcuffed him. Do you see his gun?
Move your leg. Yeah, that's a gun.
That's his rifle.
Next on deck.
I hope that was clear to everybody. It appeared to be the rifle. I don't know. Anybody seen that? I think that's the shooter. I don't know. I think it's real. I think that's the guy. Could have been a random stop. I don't know. DJ Knox sent me this as well. I found it on Twitter. DJ Knox sent it to me, and a couple other people have pinged me on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I could be wrong. I guess we'll see. They said they had somebody in custody. They had a person of interest in custody, and it was not the first guy that was at the rally. That person, they said they got him on obstruction, like he was, after the shooting, he was like jumping in front saying he did something, but he didn't have a gun, he didn't have anything, so they believe he was just trying to claim credit or something. That's a BB gun. We'll see, Johnson. Let's keep going. I got a lot more for that, where that came from.
With Tim Black.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Next.
Yeah, wow. Charlie, he had security. They just weren't standing in front of him. They were standing in the rear. So he had security there, by the way. Lucky this happened in a red state. because that means Trump won't send troops to it. Funny how he brought up a healthcare executive, as if healthcare executives have to be Republicans. Sounds like he's on to something. He knows something we don't know. Hey, man, I got nothing against people that actually knew Charlie. Mr. Kirk. You know, another reason why I think he may not have been fully who he poses to be? Why would he follow me on Twitter? That don't make no damn sense. Thought maybe something was going on. I followed him back. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. I disagree with Donald Trump on this. That Charlie was the best of us nonsense. He's just put together an organization that was very helpful. It's sort of like I was told when I thought people were my friend. I won't mention no names. Somebody tried to help my dumb ass. It said Tim Black. Tim, this person is not your friend. You're a nice guy. You got a nice platform. That's it. They don't really know you and you don't really know them. But see, part of the corporate game is to pretend like you really know people and you really care about people, and you get suckers that believe in it. Yeah. At least Trump didn't pretend to know the kids' names. Let's keep it moving.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Charlie Kirk has been shot during an event at Utah Valley University. The founder of Turning Point USA, a conservative student organization, is known for his outspoken views on politics, culture, religion, often taking his messages to colleges and universities, sparking sometimes pretty heated debates on campus. Let's get right to our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky. Aaron, what do you know?
Two law enforcement sources confirmed to ABC News, Kira, that Charlie Kirk indeed was shot as he was speaking at an outdoor event at Utah Valley University. You're right, his presence there at the university had divided the campus, according to an article in the school paper, where there were people on both sides debating whether he should even be allowed to bring his message, often loyal to the agenda of President Trump, to campus. But he was speaking at this outdoor event in a courtyard. We've seen some video of that event. A shot rings out. The entire crowd goes scattering.
Nothing new there. So what we
Next
already knew.
on deck with Tim Black.
Of course we pandered to blacks. They're in every TV commercial.
Yeah, now we're going to go. Now I'm going to take some time to share with some people some of my thoughts. These are the things that went racing through my mind when I found out that Charlie Kirk had met his demise. I think that there are people that think these things are funny. Or, no big deal, it's just his opinion. Okay, let's hear his opinion.
They get more.
Outdoor event at you debating whether he should even.
Of course.
Shot rings out. The entire crowd goes scattering.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Of course we pandered to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privilege.
He said we pander to black people. You know, there are people that actually believe that America panders to black people. We're the last picked and first fired. the level of discrimination that black people are facing in this country is bar none the platinum edition. And this guy says, America panders to black people. Look what we do for them. We gave them affirmative action without even for a second admitting that the primary beneficiary of affirmative action were white women. And who do white women marry? White guys. So the white family were the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action. It's just facts. And just because some college kids don't know that to say that in rebuttal, and won't be able to say with such authority, people called him a master debater.
Privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job.
He said you can't ever say anything negative to black people. He means call them ninjas. That's what he means. That's what he means. He means call us the N-word. And for this, I'm getting all types of hate mail and people saying screw you and unsubscribing. For this guy who says, my people, no one can say anything bad about us? Really? I mean, it's okay to be a conservative, be what you want to be, but live in reality. There were entire industries on shitting on black people. There was an entire movie scene that the whole thing was about exploiting black people. It was called black exploitation films. There's no Asian exploitation films. There's no white guy exploitation films. Just black people exploitation films. And this guy sits in front of these people and puts this out. See what I'm saying? And I think what it is since white Americans do not have a history we do, they just see it as an opinion. That's because they're not really emotionally or physically connected to anything in the realm. Because for every, we'll be here all night. He says a lot of shit.
You will have your entire life obliterated if you say something racist. And yet we have to hear about how racist.
Why do you have to say anything racist? You have your whole life obliterated. Really? No, obliterated would be what happened to that school or to the churches we were in or to our towns that your granddaddy blew up because we started making money of our own. That's obliterated. Mel Gibson not being able to make a new movie for a decade was not obliterated. He was still very rich. I mean, I don't understand. But I do understand. This is considered the war of words. Now, some things are just lies. And who's destroying them? And look, guys, you know what? I don't want to take too much time on each point, but I tell you, it's upsetting because black people do not have the ability to cancel you. If anybody's canceling you, it's other white people. Frankly, they're the ones with the buying power and the numbers to cancel you and the positions to cancel you. Black people can't cancel white people, and you know that. Any more than you can cancel black people who do black clubs. Why do you think most of my audience has changed? Because I learned the hard way, white people cancel Negroes quick. Get out of line, Negro. But we really don't have the ability to cancel white people. Not unless they're in our industry. There's not many industries we own that we can do that. We don't even own rap music. What could we cancel? How the hell can black people cancel white people? Let's keep going, man. Like I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to be here too long.
We are. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
Next on deck.
Yeah, we don't take responsibility for our actions. I mean, that's such a loaded thing to say. As if one black person who may not take responsibility for whatever they've done has anything to do with the entire group of people. And that, my friends, is patented. That's like textbook. That's like textbook racism. When you think, but that's not enough of a reason for me to say some things about him, is it? Oh, no. You know, frankly, guys, I didn't know I had that many people following me that like Charlie Kirk. It is eye-opening to see so many people were actually following me that were fans of this guy. I think he did me a favor. Let's keep going. He's got more to say.
With Tim Black.
We note in our piece that Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk's self-described very, very radical view that the country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. As we note in the piece, Kirk has previously described Kirk as a hero and a civil rights icon. It's true. I used to be wrong. What inspired Kirk to shift his view on MLK? Why does Kirk think that MLK is a bad guy? When Kirk says that MLK says, quote, one good thing he didn't believe, what does he mean by that? Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? Once a week we talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake.
Yeah, he thinks it's fine. He thinks black people don't deserve civil rights. Wow, I wonder why so many black people are crying for Charlie Kirk today. This is a guy that doesn't even think you should be able to sit where you want on a bus, dummy. Goofball. It's a guy who doesn't think you should be able to live wherever you want. Have voting rights. These are the things that the Civil Rights Act gave us. And he's saying it was a mistake to give you ninja civil rights. We're going to have some fun tonight, man. I got a lot of content on this. I might have to take this jacket off. It's going to get hot in here.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist, okay? I live when I believe. No. What do? I get charity every single year.
Crime, like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Because of DEI, it begs the question when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified.
You know, to any young black person here or people that are not, or people that may need to hear this, you know, just because you say, hey, you got to hire some black people, does that mean you got to hire black people that aren't qualified? You know, there are some black people that are qualified. But see, America's so racist. If they had 10 people up there and they had 2 slots, they'd hire all white guys. Or if they had 5 slots, they could all be equally qualified, and you could still say, let's hire the white guy, he's a better fit. Or let's hire the white woman, she's a better fit. That's what discrimination is. So I'm not saying in all cases this is how it was done. I'm saying when people are trying to be diverse because they look in their office and they see they have no black people, and I'm a person who's worked for companies and looked around and been the only ninja in the room. How many white guys have workplaces where they were the only white person in the room? White ladies, when was the last time you worked somewhere in a professional setting and you were the only white woman or the only white person in the room? I've been there. Discrimination is real, whether Charlie Kirk or any of you jackasses want to believe it or not. And just because I was there doesn't mean I was unqualified. It just means maybe I got lucky to get in. But that does not mean I wasn't qualified. Racism is so serious and discrimination is so covert. You can be discriminated on and not even know it. No one's going to tell you why you didn't get called back. They looked up your address and figured you live from a black neighborhood. They looked at your last name and deduced you were black. Black. So if a company decides, hey, we want to hire some black people too, because all we keep hiring left to our own devices is white people, white people, white people, white people, maybe an Hispanic or two. That's not hiring down, dumbass. It doesn't have to be. It could just be hiring the person we normally wouldn't pick because they're the wrong color. But you can't even be honest and say you pick people that you feel like you'll be more comfortable with. You tend to pick people that look like you. You can't even be honest and say that. You have to say, if you get a black person, you don't know, they might not be qualified. You can look at their resume and see if they're qualified, goofy. Why can't you just look at the resume? If the resume, part of the studies that I've looked at show that even when we had the same qualifications, once you found out we were black, we didn't get hired. But that's what Charlie Kirk, that some of y'all have been bawling your eyes out over. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm not even saying he means this shit. I'm saying he said it, and people thought he meant it. That's why he's been successful, because they brought it. I don't even know if it's true. I don't even know if it's true. I don't know if what's real or not real about him. Neither does anyone else. Not even you people that love him.
If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not.
There are no moronic white women that you might think might be in a position because they're white women, and they're maybe married to the person who owns the company, or their cousin, or nephew, or a sister, daughter of someone in power, and nepotism. Nothing, never came out of Charlie Kirk's mouth. It was always the blacks. So it really bothers me. You know what, guys? I don't know how many of these people that I have still hanging around me, but let me tell you something. Honesty is really important. We could disagree, but at least be honest. You know things white people say about black people when black people ain't around. You've been white your whole life. Unless you got your skin bleached, you've been white. You know what they say. Why does Charlie Kirk get to pretend like he don't know what white people be saying and thinking and doing? See, it's all bullshit. You know, white people have barbershops and hair salons. They go fishing. They play golf. They talk. You really think he's that dumb you don't know that there are humongous stereotypes and anti-black bias all over this damn country? That's why I like the white guys that I do like, because they're honest. Can't stand, or I don't care as much for the ones that aren't. Let's keep going, Johnson. We have fun.
Not necessarily. No one really cares when it's HR managers. No one cared when it was, just kind of paper shufflers or even engineers. But now when it's like, wait, hold on a second. You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian.
Charlie Kirk. Next on deck with Tim Black.
You are race obsessed. I am not race obsessed. Like, they're killing white people in the streets in South Africa. It's literally a mini white genocide. You see a black pilot, you wonder, boy, is that person there because they earned it or because they were placed there? What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them? Blacks in America. Black women married the government and divorced the men. Why do blacks have a broken family? Why is it that black America is one of the only populations, that and Native American populations, that have not been able to overcome such evil, horrors, and injustices? Blacks commit more crimes than whites do. You talk about race more than the Grand Wizard of the KKK. Right.
Are you guys sure I can't hold that against him? Really? That's just an opinion, huh? Yeah, it's just a different thought. Now we get to the fun part. Come on, Tim Black.
Next on deck with Tim Black. Next on deck with Tim Black.
Charlie Kirk was shot in Utah, giving a speech there. I just found out he's passed away. I can't believe he's dead. He was shot in the neck. Some of you might have seen an elderly man being dragged away. Turns out it was not him. Authorities don't know who did it. Violence is not the answer. This is a horrific tragedy, and we're all in danger now. This is a terrible, terrible thing to do. Violence is intellectual surrender. It's giving up and saying, I'm a loser. I don't know how to win in a battle of ideas. I'm going to resort to violence like
the battle of ideas. Anytime I hear somebody say that shit, I think of Dave Rubin. And I think of an opportunist scumbag. And then I think about all this shit you gave Dave Rubin for leaving and go get a bag, which is what you're trying to do without leaving. I told y'all about TYT 10 years ago. But instead of canceling TYT, you canceled the black guy.
Animal. It is the very last thing anyone who's progressive or on the left would ever do. We are for nonviolence. We are for peace. We are for our fellow humans.
Anybody believe this horse shit? Hey, look, guys, for the record, obviously, I'm not a big fan of Charlie Kirk's mouth and the things he was putting out, or the powerful organization that he created that perpetuated this bullshit, that made it easier for people to discriminate against people like me and my son and my daughter and my wife. But let's not for a second let these liberals get away with this bullshit. One thing I had in common with Charlie Kirk is the left is full of shit. They are very violent. I ain't never been canceled by the right. I never been dragged by the right wing. The right wing didn't try to frame me as being a black brute. They didn't threaten when I said, hey, I'm gonna get into your ass, girl, watch this. In a verbal argument with a black woman, and then you frame me as saying I was trying to rape. That was a rape threat when it was a verbal thing about an argument that black people said. I'm gonna break out the Vaseline. We're gonna go at it. You better get ready. He's trying to grape her. Everybody knew I was talking about beating her ass up, doing the dozens. I was gonna roast her ass. So these are the things I went through with the left. They didn't care that this person was a friend of the family or knew my wife and my kids and met us all. They didn't care that I had a prior relationship with all these people. They didn't care that I'm a known entity they knew me longer than they knew her. I've been around this motherfucker. But the left is dirty, cold-blooded backstabbers. And they're very violent. So this idea, like we don't know what happened to Charlie as far as who did what. We don't know the ideology of the person. It's perhaps this person thought someone implanted them with a remote control against their will and made them do it. Who knows what the story will be? It doesn't have to be a Looney Tunes leftist with a crazy agenda, but it could be. But I ain't gonna let Jank sit up here and spew this nonsense. We're supposed to be the good ones. Now, the Democrats are the party of war, mass incarceration, and a lot of other horrible shit, of using black people for votes, propping up people like George Floyd, just to get us distracted from getting our paper right. That's what the Democratic Party is. But unfortunately, for some temperamental MAGA people, the fact that I'm a bold black man that'll say that about the Democrats is not enough, because they require everything from you. They require you to ignore even the most racist, anti-black rhetoric coming out of the mouths of their golden boy. So screw you too. Both parties suck, Johnson.
Human beings and humanity overall. So I don't know who did this, but whoever they are, they're a monster, and they've done something terrible. That was not just a pundit, that was a human being.
A monster? Yo, the Democrats are monsters. They are. What do you call the three strikes law, dumbass? Who else comes up with the idea to make crack cocaine 100 times more punitive than powder? Democrats did that. Who are they locking up? us. How could you sit there and say that? See, that's what I'm saying, man. They don't believe anything they say. It's all acting. And Charlie was a good guy. Look at him. He's crying. He's blubbering. Did he cry like that for Dara Thompson, who was thrown off a bridge face first by an undocumented migrant? Fuck no. No, he didn't. She was 19 years old. She wasn't rich, and he didn't cry. Did he cry for Tamir Rice? No, he didn't. He got loud. Loud is easy. Tears are different. Tears show real emotion. Anybody can get loud about some shit. This guy want to sit up here and dictate how great the Democrats are. We're supposed to be humanitarians. Since when? You're bombing the shit out of a people that have no military, basically. Right now. You're watching babies starve right now. Your party was doing that shit. And then Obama blew people back to the Stone Age. He dropped more bombs than we had bombs. And then and your party and the people in this country gave him a Nobel Peace Prize. What the hell are you talking about? What kind of goofy shit are you talking about? Zank ain't nothing but a guy trying to make $1. Well, lots of them, but it's still dollars. Hope he's almost done.
I'm so sorry to the Charlie Kirk family.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Somebody asked Charlie Kirk, hey, what do you think about gun violence and mass shootings? His response was, does that include gang violence as a way to try to flip it on black people? A second later, wow, they get him up out of here. That's poetic as hell. And that's exactly what his ass get. I don't want to hear no thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk and nobody deserves to die. I don't give a fuck. He deserves to die. Fuck him. Everybody that pushes the same bullshit as him deserves to die. I don't care. And I know somebody gonna say, well, you're not God. You're damn right. I'm not God. I'm a human. And I think the motherfuckers should all die. Get them all up out of here. And I think I'm about to go ahead and celebrate. Throw some on the grill. Maybe some ribs, some chicken, a burger or two. Yeah, fuck Charlie Kirk. And for it to happen in one of the whitest parts of America, Utah, when he be trying to say that black people are violent, and you probably got killed by another white person, you can't make it up. You cannot make it up. And that's exactly what his ass gets. Exactly what he gets.
I don't mean no harm, but I just gotta say what the fuck I'm feeling right now. And what happened to Charlie Kirk was fucking white on white crime. That shit was white on white crime. Just like y'all be screaming black on black crime, that shit was white on white crime. And what the fuck is y'all gonna do about it? Because every time something like this happens, it so happens to be a white guy that does the shit. The most dangerous thing, the most dangerous person in this world is a white man with a rifle. I'm just saying. You check the history. It ain't never us. We ain't never trying to assassinate no political figures or no motherfucker. We ain't out here doing that shit. So I'm just saying.
We did kill Malcolm X. And we set up Fred Hampton. Killed ourselves, dog. I mean, I get your sentiment, and I get you. This is the first thing that popped into my head. But continue.
Donald Trump gonna call it what it is. Because this shit was just unnecessary. Now, one thing I can say about Charlie Kirk is this motherfucker stand on business. You know, you ain't gotta agree with everything he say, but 9 times out of 10, the motherfucker be right. 9 times out of 10, because he come with facts and not feelings. You understand what I'm saying? But today was the day. Today was the day the motherfucker said he want the best liberal they got. And got what the fuck he asked for. Hey, man, say, man, this shit crazy.
So Charlie Kirk died today. He was murdered. He was murdered. He was murdered. And people are replaying the video. They're replaying the video as if it's something. They're replaying the video as if it's something to be replayed. I don't know. He's 31 years old.
You know, my level of frustration with what I just saw in the last two videos, pretty much. Actually, all three. The first guy, he don't realize that this is all bullshit. Everything that's done is bullshit. I get it. That's advanced level. When you get to the point where you understand most of what you're saying is not real. These people are not real. And I'm not saying it's a psyop. What I'm saying is people are playing roles to get money, and people are playing roles because this is what works. And that's what the political game is about. It's like Nancy Pelosi and those guys taking a knee. Did you believe they really thought George Floyd was a hero? Did you really think they thought that? Or do you think they think you want them to act like they think that? Anyway, once again, that's advanced thinking when you realize, even if you like something, you're probably being lied to. That's why you like it, because you wouldn't like the truth. And this other guy saying Charlie Kirk was right just means you don't read books, you don't know anything about your people, you don't realize that saying, hey, why are black men aren't in the family, and then you don't talk about any of the reasons why. Because we went to shitty schools that got us prepared for nothing except jail, then you got to jail, and then you end up not able to make enough money in order to support a family. And one of the biggest barriers to marriages sticking together is finances. Hell, half the country's divorced, even if you take black people out the equation. And the biggest problem is finances. And if you end up being the lowest bottom when it comes to wealth, and you got money problems, I mean, I think you could just look there. But you know, if you listen to that simple logic, you wouldn't have all these YouTube channels with people making money going, black people, why we can't live together? Why black women and black men can't get along? And blah, blah, blah. When 40% of white marriages fail too. And why? Money. It's the number one reason people break up. People break up over money more than they break up over infidelity. But this last one is the kicker. I mean, this woman is really snots, blowing bubble snots or snot bubbles. Yeah, snot bubbles, Tim. Snot boogie. Snot bubbles like from The Wire. Over a guy she didn't know who thought she was too dumb to hold his job. Yeah, she's crying over a guy who said she's too stupid to have a job of any importance. Because of no reason other than she's a black woman. And she is literally blowing snot bubbles over him. I'm not saying we clap for someone dying, but we ain't gotta be this stupid, do we? Baby girl, if you are this naive, can I give you one bit of advice? When a guy said he has been tested, tell him to wear it anyway. And when he says, I pull, don't trust him. Tell him wear it anyway. Next.
Over words. Over words. And it's not just words. It's the truth.
The truth is, he may be right about you being a moron. I will give him that. He's right about some of you are morons. Not my people. My people smart, but some of y'all dumb. You're not my people. I don't claim dummies. Because if you think it's true that black people are unqualified and black women are idiots and morons because they're black women, yeah. You know, I would like to know if she cried like this when black people die. I'm just wondering. Or she just auditioned and become Candace Owens' stunt double. Yeah, because you know, with all that crying, now that I'm looking, it's a lot of blubbering, but I'm not seeing much tears. It's a letter. She said, rusted R-H-I, brother, R-I-H, brother. I'm not seeing any tears in the face. Anyway. Maybe those weren't snot bubbles. Those were crocodile tears, meaning no tears at all. All right, fam, now we go for Big Air. This is where I pick a couple of random sellouts, minstrel shows, to bring you some of the worst of the worst. When I say worst, I mean worst, fam. It would be hard to find worse depictions than this. This is where I remind you that this is the Tim Black Show. We live stream Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Become a member of this show by going to jointimblack.com. I'm different. We have the Wolfpack community. Shout out to my moderators, Buck, Ebony, and Black Mamba. Check this out, guys.
Guys, I need all of you, if you're watching right now, I need everybody to pray for Charlie. I see there's a couple of Twitter spaces. I'm going to go into one of them so you guys could hear real-time updates. I just saw the footage not too long ago.
I just want to reiterate how horrible Myron Gaines is at everything he does. He gives horrible advice. He has no depth of knowledge, and he's a complete bootlick. Why would you ever need ass paper when Myron's face is there? Why would you ever wipe your own ass after defecating when you have a Myron Gaines if you're a white guy?
I'm just going to join this thing right quick for you guys.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm the chairman of the College Republicans of America. I had 5 students working the event with Charlie. The latest updates we're getting from those students, one whose friend is at the hospital and one who's a state rep in Utah, have both said that Charlie has passed. And that is unconfirmed by the news. This is just the word on the ground.
Can I ask quickly, who confirmed that?
One of my students who is near the hospital and one who is a state rep from Utah.
Not to be outdone, this, friends, this right here is going to be delicious. This is delicious. You know, because every once in a while, because this guy's black, I've had people say, Tim, you should work with Anton. Really? Really? Our politics doesn't mesh. I'm real. He's a cornball and a sellout. And not a good actor. And I'm disappointed that people buy into this, but I guess they can't help it. Because his rhetoric against black women is so good, I guess they'll buy anything. But this display is so low. I don't think it get any lower than this. What good is being $1 million or millionaire? Someone need to ask Antonio, what good is it being a millionaire if you still got to kiss people's ass? I'm a thousandaire and I don't kiss ass. What good is being a millionaire if you got to walk around kissing ass all the time, Anton? I mean, folks, look at this.
But it is out there. If you guys have X, formerly known as Twitter, you can go and see it for yourself. But I will be showing other things that is associated with it because obviously I don't think that YouTube wants that type of footage on the platform. So before I get started, what I want to do is I want to lead with prayer.
This is the cornball manifesto. This is the game plan they all have. All of them go to the Bible. All of them do scripture. Now, I never seen Anton. I don't watch him. Only you guys that watch him could tell me, did he do a read for scripture? when Miss Thompson was thrown face first off a bridge? Or did he focus on why was she there? This is why our women need to stop going out, and we need to be better. We need to hold women accountable and make sure our black women are doing X, Y, Z. I wonder if he did that, or if he was just like, she was a baby. She is just 19 years old. She was murdered. I wonder if when he found out, did he get choked up? I wonder if he did a prayer. When so many black people, when Tyree Nichols was beat to death. I'm just wondering, man. I don't know. I don't watch them like that. You people, they keep saying, Tim, you should check out Anton Daniel. You should check him out. I'm just wondering, since you know him so well, when did he shed a tear about a black American? I'm just asking, because I don't think, or when did he do a prayer to save their lives like he's doing right now for Charlie Kirk?
All right, and I want to lead with prayer. I think that it's important that we lead with prayer, and let me tell you why. Is because the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning is I wake up, I brush my teeth, and then I thank God.
Okay, so if you wake up in the morning, you wake up, you brush your teeth, and you thank God, which is, you guys fall for this. Okay, fine, okay. That's what he does. Then he prays. Why would you need to do it again? If you already prayed today, why would you need to pray again? You already prayed. Or you're praying over a live stream. Oh, okay, I got it. It's not to pander. He's not praying to pander to conservatives. No. He's praying the second time of the day, and this happened in the earlier hours, like 11, what was it, 11:30 this happened? So he prayed when he got up, and then he's praying again a few hours later. Kind of weird, but okay, let's go, Johnson.
For everything that he has done for me, because you never know when it's your last day. And none of us can tell you what our time is going to end. And a lot of times we have conversations about the fact that we think that this is in our last days.
Yeah, this is excellent rhetoric. I've never heard this before. How groundbreaking is Anton Daniels? Man, he always says stuff I'm not used to hearing, man. Such original content. And he only says it 3 times, and it's the same bullshit. This the guy, though. This the guy I need to be more like, right? This the guy. This is the blueprint. The millionaire that kisses ass like $100 air. $100 air. $100 air. That's it. Or panhandler.
That the earth is in its last days. However, your last day may be today. And so you have to live every day like it's your last.
Who the fuck is he talking to? No, seriously, who is he talking to? Short arm little.
And so the way that I want to open up this live stream is I want to open it up with prayer. And so that's what we're going to do. Because that's what I do, and I love Jesus, and I love God. And
God damn it! Is this your guy? No, hey, come on, man. Hey. Official C, is this his guy? He should have jumped in front of the bullet for Charlie, man. That's what should have happened here. It took the wrong guy. He should have jumped in front of the bullet, head first, like Ronald Reagan. When I was a baby, man, pretty much. I remember I was in maybe 3rd grade or some shit. I don't know what it was. I remember hearing that Ronald Reagan got shot, and then I heard about this guy, Brady. We had to learn this in school. He dove, he like head first in front of the bullet. That should have been Anton. Anton should have used his big ass, Mr. Pumpkinhead, Mr. Potato Head ass. He should have jumped in front of the bullet and took one for Charlie. His savior in Christ. This is your guy. This is a guy. I wouldn't be so offended, man. Let me calm down. I'm only offended because I've had people actually tell me this guy is good at something. And I'm like, who are these people? Who are these people? I know good. I respect good. I respect talent. I do. This is not talent. This is manipulation and bullshit. I pray. This is D.L. Hughley without the bad jokes. I pray all the time, and I go to God because we never know the day we gonna go. Like, because you don't know when you're gonna go. You never know when you're gonna go, so you gotta pray, and that's what I do. So we're gonna pray over this live stream. Before I live stream, I like to pray because you never know. So let's pray because that's what I do. So let's pray. Oh Lord, take care of Charlie, Mr. Charlie. He a good man. Please take care of Charlie. Y'all think I'm bullshit, don't y'all?
So that's what we're going to do. It's more than just about news. It's about making sure that we gather together, especially the saints.
Hey, what is he talking about? It's more than just news. It's about that we do what?
To pray for the people that are heavily affected.
We pray for the people that are heavily affected. Oh, so he's going to pray for the shooter too, because that's a Christian thing, right? Ain't that what Christians do? They pray for the victim and the both people, because that's what Christians do. Let me hear him say it.
All right. So let's start here. Lord, we come before you in the name of Jesus.
When you pray, aren't you supposed to close your eyes and bow your head? Why is this guy looking all around? Very nonchalant with the prayers.
And we ask you to cover Charlie Kirk. Cover him as he fights for his life. Cover his family. Cover.
He looks really mentally destroyed by what's happening here. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it together for the podcast. Look at him. He's so emotionally wrecked.
His loved ones. Cover the people that were at the event that witnessed it.
Yeah, cover the people that were witness. Cover them. What about the shooter? Going to cover the shooter?
And more importantly, put your grace and your covering upon this world, upon this earth, upon the United States of America.
What the Hey, man. Anybody who's ever said that I need to check out Anton Daniels, you owe me $1,000 and an apology. I'll take the $1,000 first. You owe that shit. Oh, you owe me, man. You owe me. The disrespect of you comparing me to that guy? That guy? I mean, I'm long-winded too, but at least I come with original material. This guy is horrible. What is it? I'm trying to figure out, what is it? What is it? Right, you dog. I mean, if I'm tripping, man, I accept that. But I don't think I'm tripping. This dude is praying for Charlie Kirk.
Upon people that are so demonic that they're divided and they can't take the idea that somebody has a different perspective, opinion, political ideology, so on and so forth. But heal hearts, be with people, and
he's praying to God about people's ideological beliefs. What the hell they got to do with God, man? What is he talking about?
Expose people for who they are before they do horrific things to people that they don't even know.
Man, are y'all serious, man? Are y'all serious? God, don't let people do things that people that they don't even know. Oh, you mean like drop bombs on Palestinians? Or you mean like, I don't know, mass incarcerated a whole generation of black people? Pull a whole generation of black people out of the homes via the war on drugs by your guy Ronald Reagan? Oh, ain't this guy conservative? Yeah, there's smoke for the Republicans too. It's just a lot of people don't go into it much because they're so busy going at the Democrats. But I still remember Ronald Reagan's shit. Reagan's was a big problem. Anyway, guys, I think this is
and ruin lives and ruin families. And be with them, Lord. Just be with us, be with them, protect your saints, protect people.
Don't ruin lives, ruin families, be with them, be with people, be with... What the hell is he talking about?
That are trying to heal this world and trying to do the right thing. And even if they're not necessarily in agreement with you, right? Rebuke extremists on...
Who is he? He talking to God, y'all. This guy's talking to God. That's how he talk to God? Hey, God, do me a favor, God. Look, man, God, could you make it so that the Lakers can get another ring? Because and also make it so that when I'm taking a test, right, the person that is administering the test, make it so that they on the paper that they put a better, give me a little bit couple couple extra credit points. You know what I'm saying? Because God, and when somebody has a bad attitude, please make the attitude be a little bit better, at least when they meet me, because you know what I'm saying? I prefer people to be nice to me, and it would be better and lessen the cost of nacho cheese, because nacho cheese is an additional condiment. Sometimes they charge you extra for it. When I go to Chipotle, they want to charge me an extra $1 for the avocado. Please, Lord, could you go talk to people at Chipotle and work it out so that they give a brother the extra scoop? Please, Lord, without charging, for free. Thank you, Lord, for looking out for me. And may you look out for all the peoples and all the lives and all the women's too. And look out for babies and little doggies. I like well, not pit bulls. I like terriers. And I like people with no necks. Lord, look out for the no neck people like me. Look out for the Mr. Magoo looking mofos with the short arms and the big mouths and the arrogance, like me, who worship Megyn Kelly and that horrible shill. What's her name what's the one? I forget her name. That other white lady on Fox News. Laura Ingraham, that's it. That's my girl. Look out for her. Make sure Laura knows if she ever, as long as I have a face, she got a place to sit. Please let her know that. And please let Charlie know. If I would have been there, I would be missing an eye, because I would have jumped right in front of that bullet and took it for him with a smile. And then I would apologize if I bled on him, because that's who I am, Lord. You know how I roll, Lord. Thank you, Lord, Lord, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for all you do for me. At the end of the day, folks, I'm not going to say Charlie Kirk is the worst person in the world. He's probably not. The worst person in the world is probably a person that actually hurts people. And I'm not so certain that's what Charlie was meaning to do. I think he just wanted to win, and he was detached from any type of actual negativity that came from his words. That's what I believe. And I think in some ways, but see, he was a grown-ass man. Charlie was 31. It's young. He's young, but it's not that young. You know what I'm saying? A little over a year ago, I lost my 30-year-old daughter. So I still see him as kind of young. You know what I'm saying? So I am not celebrating his death. And I know it's people here that think that that's cool to do. I just don't do it. But I will not grovel, kiss ass, tap dance, do a minstrel show, write a song, write a poem, dedicate a star, none of that shit. Because I think at the end of the day, I don't think Charlie would have done any of that for me. Not at all. If someone would have shot Tim like me, if someone would have shot me, and that person was black, he'd have just said black on black crime strikes again and kept it moving. Then he would have said my wife wasn't smart, was probably a DEI wife. And he would say my kids were probably violent and going to end up in jail and going to hurt people and commit all the crimes in the world. And he's going to say how the world pandered to my death. They were pandering for me. Anybody that did miss me was going to be pandering, because I'm so privileged being black. We all know how well everyone treats us. Yeah, see, that's what I think he would do. Or he'd do absolutely nothing unless it benefited his team, his organization, or his party. All right, guys, that's all I got. My name is Tim Black. You've been watching the Tim Black Show. We do this Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like this content, go join us. If you like it for a reason, because you don't get it everywhere. There's only a few people I can vouch for that I know are sincere. I'm one of them. Shout out to the real ones out there. Shout out for keeping it real. I saw you out there, Phil Scott. Phil Scott was a real one. He stood on business today. There was like 4 people I saw today that stood on business. I had a little bit of time, and I will admit I checked out a couple of people just to see I'm not alone. So thank you for being you, the real ones. All right, y'all. Comments? Anybody here, man? We got any comments I need to read off, fam? Black men are fair to a fault. Thank you, Katrina. I appreciate you. Thank you, D. Yeah, sometimes I think you got to explain it. It's not, I tell you not to be gratuitous, not to try to get sympathy, but I want people to know where my mind is. You know what I'm saying? And when you're like that, when you become part of this club, some things hit you a little different. That's all I'm saying. So I just thought maybe I should explain to you part of my thought process. Because this ain't a show. This is a conversation, right? All right, shout out to my people that helped me with content surrounding the Charlie Kirk situation. DJ Knock, Buck Bewley, Iron Man Oz. I got nothing but love for you. Thank you for your support, helping be my eyes and ears. And also Mrs. Black, she sent me a couple clips as well. I appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all. Be strong. And remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. All right? Thank you, Wolfpack. Black Mamba in the building. Hands doing a high five. Thank you, Black Mamba. I appreciate you. And as always, family, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Oh, my other one. Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go.